It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we've got a showdown in the AFC South. It's the Jaguars and the Colts on Thursday night primetime.
2-1 and 2 teams, each hoping to get back to 500, and we're underway in Week 4.
From the end zone comes Chris Claybrooks to return. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled it to 20.
So here's the first drive now for the Jags.
They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence. On play action, Lawrence.
And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach. Let's face it, this season certainly has not gone the way many had expected or at least hoped. And I think we saw some of that frustration boil over with his weekly press conference earlier this week.
Yeah, we certainly did, didn't we? Because, let's face it, he's heard the whispers, and they're growing louder that he shouldn't be around next year. He essentially stormed out of that meeting you just referenced with the reporters. How did he end it? We're done here. Well, that's a function of losing and all the pressure that's on him. You hear about pressure creating diamonds? In this case, it's bursting the pipes of the coach.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5.
Lawrence. They'll try and set up the screen to ETN.
Puts it on the carpet, it's out, and the Colts pick it up. So the Colts in great position here as they get things started. They'll be under the command of the former Florida State Seminole, the #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
And no excitement.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
First carry for the Clemson man, Travis Etienne. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
The numbers in last week's contest for Ingram: 4 catches, 56 yards.
And I'd certainly expect them to use him quite a bit because he runs excellent routes, has good hands, and knows how to get open.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11.
They go play action now. Lawrence. They'll get this out to the flat for Etienne.
2 yards on the pickup there. And that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible. So I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
Tackle made by Grover Stewart.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They'll try the left side with ETN.
And he'll take this one down near the 15. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
On third down, Lawrence.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line.
Quinny Pay drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Indy set to go on offense once more. And they are losers of 2 straight coming into this Thursday night game. Is it more difficult, CD, when you take a losing streak into a quick turnaround game like this?
It certainly is, because you don't get time to work on the issues that you've had throughout the season that have caused you to have the record that you're having. You can't really get those set. So now you're trying to minimize those and maximize what you've been doing well. And I remember a game recently where one of the assistant coaches said to the head coach, forget our running back rotation. This guy has a hot hand, and they rode him to a victory. Those are things you have to look out for in games like this.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Jameis to throw it. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
He was looking for Michael Pittman that time.
And it's 3rd and 4. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. For whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory.
Jacksonville set to go again offensively. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend. But you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
On 2nd down, a run with ETN.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
A quick throw. Here's Shepard.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
From the 36,
Lawrence. And that's complete to ETN out of the backfield.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
We're scoreless after 1. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Now Lawrence. He'll fight his man, Laviska Shenault.
And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 28.
Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
And that is a situation where in a defender's mind, you just have to pick a point on the football field and think to yourself, I'm going to sprint full out and meet him at that point. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but he had to play diagnosed perfectly there.
His throw incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now Lawrence. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lawrence.
And that will be incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Blankenship's kick is good.
And the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead.
So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football? It says finish on it, because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
2nd drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Andre Cisco there on the stop.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. Well, you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
On third down, Winston. There's the stiff arm, and he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
1st and 10, Taylor now.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on third down. Now Winston. Trying to lay one up deep. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10.
Travis Etienne of the Jags offense set to take over again here.
The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the 2nd quarter. Finds his tight end Ingram. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They'll run with Etienne. And trying to shake free, but Etienne cannot. The defense will stop him short.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen. 44 the mic, 44.
From the gun, Winston.
He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman.
And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. Earlier in the quarter when the defense was keying on the run, you said offensively they need to open things up, take some shots downfield. Didn't work there, but they did it.
Yeah, I'm not going to change my tune now. I still think it's the right play because when you take those shots downfield, you open the eyes of the defense to what you could do to them, and that may open some things up for you offensively.
That'll leave him with a
3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. Able to push his way through. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league and converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. First down, Winston. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
Travis Etienne and the Jags offense set to take over again here. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, trying to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. No, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
2nd and 10 now. It's Lawrence. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Lawrence. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down. Here's Logan Cook now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Now a hit and a loose football.
And that's what friends are for.
Right? As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
Meanwhile, Winston's throw complete here to Doyle. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
The pass underneath. Here's Hines with it. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. To throw is Winston. Left side, Doyle with it. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Again, it's Winston. And his throw is incomplete. But the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way. That's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together and find ways to make this passing game get in gear.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's fourth down. On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. Second and 9. Lawrence will throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Brooks.
Let's go.
Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. On first and 10, it's Lawrence. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
To throw once more on second and 10, Lawrence. And that's complete to Shepard. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. Throwing again here, it's Lawrence. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Kenny Moore. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. Second half ready to roll. 2 field goals, a combined output in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins. Well, the Colts ready to go to work to start the third quarter. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic, no need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And that is incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And out will come the offense as they take over. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
Well, that's not exactly how they drew that one up nor practiced it, because on first down, you're trying to get some yardage to set up 2nd and 3rd down calls. In this case, had to drop it off to his running back. But, boy, they closed quickly on that one and stopped him behind the line of scrimmage.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Lawrence. Connection made with Chenault. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
Here's Lawrence. And able to find Alan Lazard. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the 1st down.
Off the option, it's Jones. He's got a 1st down and more inside the 30. And down to the 28-yard line.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
On the counter, Etienne. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
On 2nd down, Etienne once more. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On 3rd down, here's Etienne. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Down on the field, we've got an injured Colt after that last play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Blankenship's kick is good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A tackle made there by Ronnie Perkins.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there.
A good action to this point in the third quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10.
Winston. He's got his target. That's Zach Pascal. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A big play there on the catch and run.
Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other, and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover him. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They run once more with Taylor.
It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
I think we can safely say that those types of players are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Let's go, defense.
On 3rd and 1, here's Winston. Touchdown! Jack Doyle, his first touchdown on the year. And the Colts are going to jump back in front. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays, and it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown.
Here's Chris Claybrooks to return. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Play action. It's Lawrence. Completes it to Evan Ingram. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
I'll give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
Throwing now, Lawrence on 1st down. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore.
And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line.
I tell you, you don't have press conferences when you sign guys like this. He's been a real difference maker so far. That's now 2 interceptions for him in the game. And when you're getting contributions up and down your 53-man roster, you're going to be all right.
And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
On 3rd down, here's Taylor.
And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
They're going to try for it on fourth. Winston stays out there. Jameis to throw it. And Pascal's got it. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. So a moment to catch our collective breath after the fourth down conversion. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Winston. That's complete to Hines out of the backfield. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Jameis again. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Working out of the gun, Winston. He's got the tight end, Mo Alley-Cox. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Dwayne Smoot. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
A lot of tired bodies on that field. But this is a big play. 3rd and goal. He's got Jack Doyle. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. Gonzalez's kick is good. And that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do and kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again.
And that last turnover could have proven more costly, but their defense only gave up 3. But now answering with a field goal doesn't do them much on this drive. They need to try and find the end zone. 1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
A handoff for Etienne. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
They go play action with Lawrence.
Rolling to his right. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
They go play action now. Lawrence
steps away to his left.
And Lawrence going to smartly hit the deck here as he is able to pick up the first down in the process.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
To throw again on second down. Lawrence flush to his right. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away, and he winds up only picking up a yard or two.
The Jaguars on third down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 8.
Now Lawrence to throw.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Grover Stewart in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. But look at Jameis Winston now as he gears up to lead this offense again. He's had quite the turnaround, Charles. At the start of the game, passing game was a little bit of a mess, but he's back on the horse, so to speak.
Love seeing how someone can rebound from a slow start or a tough start. Means that they're strong mentally. They've kind of calmed themselves down. Everyone's rallied around them. Maybe they even change game planning a little bit in order to make things better for him.
Winston now to throw on first down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Intended target on that one, Russell Gage, but it's going to be second down.
By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. On third down, Winston. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback.
So here now, Lawrence and the Jaguars.
Down 13-6, a little under 2.5 to go. They'll have 2 timeouts, and of course also the 2-minute warning as they go to work on first down.
Lawrence's throw here taken in by Ingram.
And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't it?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They got to go thank the guys on D.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. He targets Ingram for another grab.
And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer.
Here's Lawrence to throw. Finds his tight end Ingram. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there of finding him in stride for really good yardage.
So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. He's back to throw. He sets up the screen to Jones. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Back to throw. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. And they'll try and throw for it with Lawrence. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Colts are going to take over with a football. Time for the next drive. We'll see what tight end Jack Doyle and the rest of this offense can do. And the numbers show it. Low involvement early, but since he's been involved, it's been a good thing for this offense.
Indeed it has, and when you're able to finally get him going, get him fully integrated into the offense, things feel a whole lot better for your team. It expands everything that they do trying to move the football.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as it comes with 1:15 left to go in the 2nd half. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Again, it's Taylor. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down. Now Winston. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hines. And he is going to have a Colts 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And this defense, they needed that one more stop to have any chance, but that completion, that's likely going to seal their fate.
And you could hear it in your voice, that one more stop.
I feel their pain.
Oh, it was so important. They just didn't get it done. Wow, what a way to finish this one off.
Winston will kneel down, and that should be your ball game.
And there it is, the standard symbol. Taking a knee means that one team won, and the other one obviously lost the ball game. But now that team that won is 2-2. After the first 4 games, I think they're okay with a 2-2 start. Not overly happy, but at the same time, not depressed either.
You mentioned to me breaking down a season in quadrants, so the first quadrant is kind of a check, as you said, for okay. Not great, not bad.
Yeah, right now they're just holding serve. They look forward to their next 4. Maybe they can make a surge there.
So this one winds up in Indianapolis victory.